Remember when the American dream meant a house with a white picket fence, a steady job, and a pension? When one income was enough to support a family, buy a home, and still have money left for vacations? Yeah, about that. Somewhere along the way, that dream slipped out of reach for many. What was once the standard path to financial stability now feels like an exclusive club with an ever-increasing price of admission. So, what changed? Why does financial freedom seem harder to achieve than ever? And more importantly, how can you still build wealth in today's economy? Let's break it down. There was a time when job security was almost guaranteed. You found a company, worked there for decades, and retired with a pension, Social Security, and maybe even a fully paid-off home. That was the blueprint for the American dream. Fast forward to today, and that model is nearly extinct. Pensions have become almost non-existent, Social Security faces an uncertain future, and homeownership has shifted from a milestone to a luxury that many can't afford. The modern workforce looks nothing like it did in the past. Instead of long-term employment, people now rely on contract work, gig jobs, and short-term positions. Layoffs, once an emergency measure, have become routine and are often disguised as restructuring. The average worker changes jobs every 4 years, and in many industries, staying too long at one company can actually hurt your earning potential. Wages have barely increased when adjusted for inflation, while the cost of living has skyrocketed. Rent, healthcare, and education continue to rise, yet paychecks remain stagnant. If it feels harder to get ahead, that's because the math no longer works the way it used to. The economy has shifted, but most financial advice hasn't caught up. The housing market, from dream to dilemma. Owning a home was once the ultimate sign of financial success. Today, for many, it feels more like an impossible goal. In 1970, the average home cost around $23,000, which is about $160,000 in today's dollars. Now, the median home price has climbed past $400,000, making homeownership far less attainable. It's not just about affordability, it's about competition. Large investment firms and hedge funds are buying up properties, turning them into rentals, and driving home prices even higher. This means that the competition is no longer just between buyers, but also against corporations with deep pockets and unlimited resources. As a result, home ownership rates among young adults have dropped significantly. Buying a home today often requires an inheritance, a six-figure salary, or a mortgage approval process that feels more like a miracle than a financial transaction. Even for those who do own a home, rising property taxes, maintenance costs, and insurance premiums make home ownership less of an investment and more of an ongoing financial burden. Education and the student debt crisis. Higher education was once considered a golden ticket to a better life, but today it feels more like a financial trap. In the 1970s, students could pay for college by working a part-time job. Now, the average graduate leaves school with anywhere between $30,000 and $50,000 in debt, with some owing six figures before even starting their first job. Not all degrees lead to high-paying jobs, and many graduates find themselves struggling just to cover basic living expenses while repaying loans. Meanwhile, trade jobs like plumbing, electrical work, and construction offer strong salaries without the heavy burden of student debt. Yet, society continues to push the outdated belief that college is the only reliable path to success. The reality is that a degree no longer guarantees financial stability, but student debt can delay homeownership, investments, and overall financial independence for decades. Retirement, the vanishing safety net. For past generations, retirement meant living off a pension, Social Security, and personal savings. That model is now nearly obsolete. Social Security is expected to run a deficit by 2034, which means future retirees could see reduced benefits. Meanwhile, 401ks and IRAs, which were meant to replace pensions, offer no guarantees. A market crash at the wrong time can wipe out years of savings in an instant. People are also living longer, which means they need more money to retire comfortably. The old expectation of working until 65 and living off savings for 10 to 15 years is outdated. Many retirees now face 20 to 30 years of expenses with no guaranteed income. The traditional approach of working hard, saving, and retiring is no longer enough. Instead, financial independence now requires smart investing, passive income streams, and wealth-building strategies that adapt to the modern economy. The wealth gap and the cost of luxury. The wealth gap is growing, and the middle class is shrinking. The rich are getting richer, not because they work harder, but because they play a different financial game. Wealthy individuals invest in assets that generate passive income, use tax strategies to keep more of their earnings, and leverage money to make more money. Meanwhile, the average person remains stuck in a cycle of working for money rather than making money work for them. Rising expenses and stagnant wages make it difficult to build wealth, and social media has only intensified the pressure. People are constantly bombarded with images of luxury, yachts, designer brands, and private jets, but much of what they see is either fake, financed, or sponsored. The real wealthy don't just look rich, they own income-generating assets. They don't finance luxury, they invest in it. The key to financial success today isn't about appearing wealthy, it's about learning how to build real, lasting wealth. Reclaiming the American dream. So, is the American dream dead? No, but it has changed. It's no longer about working a 9-to-5, buying a house, and retiring at 65. The new dream is about financial freedom, the ability to control your time, build wealth, and live life on your own terms. To adapt, people need to focus on investing in assets that appreciate, whether that's stocks, real estate, or businesses. Building multiple income streams, including side hustles, passive income, and investments, is becoming essential for financial security. Minimizing bad debt and maximizing cash flow is crucial because while not all debt is bad, mismanaged debt can be a wealth killer. Most importantly, financial education is the real key to success because what you know determines how far you go. The system has changed and the rules have shifted. But for those who are willing to adapt, the American dream is still possible. It just looks different now. The past few decades have rewritten the financial playbook. Stable jobs, affordable homes, and guaranteed pensions are no longer a given. But that doesn't mean success is out of reach. It just means people need a new approach. The real dream today isn't about working endlessly for a paycheck. It's about freedom. The ability to wake up and choose how to spend your time, the confidence to build wealth on your own terms, and the security of knowing your money is working for you, not the other way around. So, are you ready to rewrite your own American dream? Subscribe, like, and follow for more financial strategies and wealth-building insights.